Before we dive into microservices, because who doesn't like talking about microservices, there's a more basic question, which is kind of tied to integration, but it's also kind of tied to user experience, which is how are you going to add new things? You often don't really need to start at a clean slate. You just got to figure out what you're going to do to refactor. And when we say refactor, we're not saying, wait a minute, rewrite everything because I hate that language. But it's possible to keep the business logic the same and just change some of the underlying implementations. It's something we actually end up doing quite a lot.
Right, exactly. And this is something that AI does help a lot with, in some cases, particularly if you have the source code, obviously. And we have the ability to kind of take this code and put into a state where the first thing that you need to do is build out these APIs that define, okay, well, what does the software actually do? And then test and manage those APIs. And then finally you can start to, expand that and, look at cleanup and adding in these new features. It's a better way to kind of manage what you have rather than just kind of adding more spaghetti on top of the spaghetti that you've already got.
And I was going to say it's not all fresh spaghetti, but there are very few businesses that rely on just a single application, right? There are all these different parts. And one of the things that we often find ourselves invited to work on is, can you take care of application A and we'll take care of application B and kind of divide the labor. People who have deep familiarity with business processes that you've already automated you can move some of that to people who have less experience but have deep experience in software. And you can, in fact, rearrange the division of labor. We jumped ahead to the organization question. The people who may not know about the vertical specifics of, I don't know, medical record keeping, they might not need to know about a lot. But the people who do have the expertise, it frees them up from some of the crucial maintenance tasks and let them really dig deep on what they've learned about the industry as software developers at your company for as long as your company's been around.
Because let's face it, anytime you think about outsourcing some of your development, you think to yourself, but I need somebody who understands my industry. And you do. So you've got those people. So let's free them up by not having them do this maintenance that can be done by somebody who doesn't need 10 years of experience in pharmaceuticals.
Right. Again, it's down to the division of labor. And I kind of hate the notion of offshoring or outsourcing. Because like, okay, we'll just set it down and fire all these people, and then we'll get some youngsters from some country I've never been to. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a division of labor so that you can really take advantage of the pieces of the stack.